What I want to address is I want to talk to my brother Ricky Smiley, and I want to say to you that it is unfair, in my grown man opinion, to say that that man and his ex-wife and the mother of his kids, which are now grown adults, past 30 years old, whatever their specific dynamic is, there's a bunch of things that has been said and done over the years that is nobody's business that has contributed to where they are.
Okay, family, before we go any further in this video, I want to give a little context. Tyrese is talking about this video that Ricky Smiley made, that he posted on his social media in reference to Brian McKnight's children. Brian McKnight said a couple of weeks ago, he was saying some things about his family, and I call them his former family because that's basically what he refers to them as, because he doesn't really have dealings with the ex-wife or the children. He was talking about the negativity and how you have to rid yourself of that. And so Ricky Smiley made this video like, man, I support the kids. If y'all need us, y'all got a support system here in Alabama where I'm from. For my network of people, whatever type of help you can, you might need, just basically reach out. And it all came from a place of love. But then Tyrese responded, and he was like, hold on, wait a minute. Before we do all of that, we need to take a look at the entire picture. And I don't really feel like it's your place to even really bring that up. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand the inner workings of what happened to cause them to be like that. So let's continue.
This is not fair to say, well, they my kids, or they grown, they adults, and so I ain't gonna ever turn my back on my kids. I ain't gonna ever not provide or be there or support or do whatever. Man, kids out here be saying some fucked up shit, bruh. Kids out here be crossing you and doing and saying and going above and beyond to cross you. I do not know what that man and that woman or his kids or anything about anything. Like, I literally know Brian.
Don't
I
forget
have
to
not
like,
had
comment, and share
one
as well,
conversation
family.
with Brian McKnight about his wife, his kids, or anything that went down between them, nor is it my business, nor is it my place to ask him, what happened, man? What's going on? This and that. None of my business. What I am addressing and talking about is I feel like it is not fair to act as if relationships between men and their children that at some point become adults can't fall apart, can't become extremely volatile and toxic. Listen, man, I know dudes that are in jail for getting in full-on fights with their kids who grow up, who think they can talk to them and treat them any kind.
I'm going to pause it right there because all I got to say is that's all facts right there. What Tyrese saying is all facts. He's hitting the nail right on the head, because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you like this. First of all, we already know in our community, our families are broken up into pieces because we have, crazy divorce rates. Basically, we out here making children before we get married. And 9 times out of 10, the children are usually with their mom. If they're in the care, and I'm not saying this can't happen with a man and his children too, but there's a proclivity for it to happen with women and their sons and daughters, because they usually tend to have custody or be the custodial parent, right? So the mother will poison the child against the father. So you'll have kids who have been fed constantly by their mother negative information. Some of it could be true, some of it might not be true. Some of it's just not their damn business. And some of it is just blatant lies about their father. And so what happens is the children grow up and they have this idea about their father, and they start to look at him as the enemy. And a lot of times that comes from the parent, the mother being hurt because of the relationship failed, or she might be bitter. She might actually have been the one who actually caused the relationship or the marriage to fail. But she might have this thing like, I need to get back at him. He's happy, he's enjoying life. And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to make his life a miserable hell, and I'm gonna use his children as tools against him. And so they poison the children. I've seen it happen so many times. I've been fortunate enough in my life not to have had to deal with that, but I've dealt with friends who were pulling their hair out over these things. And it's disgraceful because at the end of the day, what we go through in our relationships, I know it might hurt, it might be difficult, but we have to say, what's best for our children? Is it a good thing for them to have both their parents, even if our relationship doesn't work out? Isn't it a good idea for the children to have a great relationship with their father as well? No matter whether we had a decent relationship or we fell out or whatever. They need their father. So what they'll do is they'll pull all this negative bullshit into the children and have these children looking at this. He hurt my mom. He didn't give a damn about us. Keeping the father away and him making it appear as such to where the father is the one who wants to stay away, but that's not even the case. How many situations have we seen like that? To where the mother will make the child believe the father didn't want to have nothing to do with them. But it was actually the mother keeping them away from the father. Discarding letters, lying, not allowing him to take phone calls. Like, we seen a video that went viral a couple of years ago of a young man who stopped speaking to his mother over that because he found out that she had kept him away from his father, and that his father had always been taking care of him, sending money via, whatever the situation was. I don't know if it was child support, whatever, but she was taking the money and saying, oh, this man don't do nothing for you. So Tyrese is right on the money with that. I just wanted to give it a little context. Now we're going to keep looking at the video as he goes a little bit deeper into it.
Stealing money, flirting with their girl or their wife inappropriately while they're in new relationships, crossing the line, doing all kind of shit that can make the dynamic between you and your daughter or your son completely off limits. Let's go even further. And I know a thing or two, so consider me a professional in this department. I want you guys to Google these words.
Tyrese done been through some shit.
A lot of you guys have never heard of. All the therapists, all of the psychiatrists, especially all of the family law attorneys, please chime in. Parenting alienation. Google it. Enmeshment. When kids or young adults or even grown folks are enmeshed, and there is parenting alienation between the man trying to alienate the child or children from the mother, or the mother brainwashing, poisoning, or trying to alienate the kids or the adults from the father. That is a real thing. When you are enmeshed, which again, you should Google it by definition, read it on the airwaves to educate people. When parents are enmeshed with their kids or teens or young adults or adults, they lose sight of the dynamic between being a parent and a child or children. They talk.
That is another fact. This man, oh man, you know what he said about being a professional in this sense, I think he might have it right. He might have it right because he's speaking facts. That parental alienation, which we just got done talking about, enmeshment, I forgot what it is. I looked the word up once I had actually viewed this video. I forgot exactly what it means, but But he's talking about those blurred lines of the it's usually the mother, because the man tends not to have this relationship with his children to where they're his friends. You know what I mean? Not until they get much, much older, like, you know what I'm saying? But there's with the mother, they had this thing where they start to, like, the daughter is the girlfriend and the son is the son husband and all these other weird psychological relationships that they build. And they start to share information with the children that's basically detrimental to the relationship that they're going to try to attempt to have with their father. So, he really hitting it on the head. These type of things really occur. And for all the people that have been through this or know somebody that has been through this or going through this currently, drop a comment below. Let's have this conversation, because this thing is real. And it's sad, because really it's something that helps to perpetuate these fatherless homes, these broken families, and it has to fucking stop. It has to stop. And what's sad is that the system, this child family services system that they have set up, don't even take a look at things like this. They won't even look at things like this at all to say, well, how is this affecting families and children? And what can we do to be proactive about it and prevent it from happening, or create a remedy for it when it does happen? Like, how can we do that? How can we, you know what I'm saying, help to basically, because we already know that the father has rights, but how can we assist him in this situation to where he's being alienated by the other parent? And what's crazy, this is my last little point about this, is it's like a coalition they build. It'll be the mother, her 2 or 3 friends, who she goes and bashes the father. She got the kids on board. She's got her bitter ass divorced or unmarried mother on board. And it's like they all try to go after the man together. And I don't understand why they need a coalition. You know what I'm saying? But they build this whole coalition. It's like, I need people around me to believe me, even if this shit is not true. Because they're not going to go out and try to find the facts and see if this is real or not. You know what I'm saying? But I need people on my side. You know what I'm saying? And you're focusing on having people on your side instead of what's best for the children. And that makes me mad. That upsets me. And that happens in every racial dynamic. I mean, so this ain't just a black thing, even though when fucked up shit happens, it tends to happen even more in our race. But let's continue.
Everything. They go into all of the specifics and details about the cheating or infidelity or the physical, emotional, or psychological abuse. They're going on and going into specific details with the child or children, because they do not understand the line between being a specific parent. A father and a mother is not friends with a child.
Preach.
You can develop a friendship with your child or children, but that is not your friend. That is your son, that is your daughter.
Boy, preach.
Not to ever have the roles or the dynamics of the roles to ever be crossed or blurred. You can't go out tonight. Why I can't go out tonight? I'm blah. We all know what it is. And if we have never experienced disrespectful kids, today's kids are out of their minds.
These children in today's generation, in a lot of cases, are out of their fucking minds. And it's really not their fault. It's just that they're either being raised improperly, or they're not being raised at all. And then the father is being kept, and the father is law and order. He establishes order, because if it's not order in the house, then there's what? Chaos. But what he's referencing about the mothers looking at the children and sharing information to them like that's their girlfriend, that is sick as hell and sad. And like I said, it's destructive and it needs to stop. You need to seek therapy if that's what you're doing, because you're not doing nothing but perpetuating broken families. And we know that is the main problem that we have. I really do believe that that's about probably 75% of our problem is broken families. Nobody's passing down that valuable information that grandma and granddad and that uncle and that auntie passed down. I've done the research on the outcomes of broken families versus two-parent homes. And it's like night and day. They even talk about the economic aspect of two-parent homes, not just on the effect of it on the mother and the father, which they're better outcomes, but also the effect on the financial behaviors of the children when they get older. Now that's one of the deepest things that I did when I did research on this, because I'm passionate about this subject, is that they said that single parent homes, basically single mother homes, that the child has a tendency to struggle financially, and their relationship with money is flawed because of that arrangement, because of that family dynamic, because it's broken up. Because usually that single mother is struggling, and she passes that same type of thought process, mindset when it comes to money and family right on down to the child, and they struggle in turn in their life, continuing the circle, perpetuating it. So when we keep the family together, the children are more sound emotionally, mentally. They usually eat better, so they're more healthier physically. They're more healthier financially. Even in their lives, in their relationships later on down the line, if there's a two-parent home, they tend to do better in marriages. They tend to find them a partner easier. And we're not saying that, because it's people that love to get in the comment section and say things like, well, I grew up in a two-parent home and this person was like this. We're not saying that it's definitive. There's always exceptions to the rule. We're saying that statistically, based upon research, that there are better outcomes when you have two-parent homes. And that's why this behavior of alienating the other parent is bad for us. And Tyrese is on point. I understand that my man Ricky Smiley was coming from a place of love, and I respect that. I ain't down to him. I don't have nothing negative to say about it. And I don't really even feel like what he did was wrong, because he wasn't speaking to so much the wife. He was speaking to the children and saying like, man, look, if y'all need me, I got your back. And let me say this too before I wrap this up. I seen a video with Brian McKnight. He was saying that, and this is how deep this shit is. He was saying that his son had cancer, right? And so, he was on the road. He found out him and his significant other, they got off the road and they went, they like, man, we gonna get you the best doctors. You know what I'm saying? He told the young man that, look, I want you to come move in with me. You don't got to work. Bring your wife with you. We going to take care of y'all, and we want you to focus on getting healthy. And the mother was like, nah, we don't need you for nothing. Now, God damn it, this man's life is on the line, baby. You got to put the BS, the bitterness to the side so that we can save his life. And that's just what I'm talking about. Like, at what point does your feelings get put to the back for what's more important? Is there anything more important than your petty ass feelings and emotions? At the end of the day, that's his father, and his father wanted to do what was right and take care of his son, get his son well, and she refused it, and she put a stop to it, which is crazy, which is absolutely nuts, and it's sad. But man, look, if y'all enjoyed the video, man, give your brother that thumbs up. I love y'all. If you're not a part of our family on YouTube, the Young Black and Wealthy Family, man, hit that subscribe button. Come on, come join the family. Let's come have these fruitful conversations. You know, one of the goals for me is to shine a light on some of the things. None of us are perfect. Shine a light on some of the negatives in our community, also the positives, but shine a light on some of the negatives so that we can figure out a way to come to, you know, some type of consensus on how we can fix these problems. But don't forget to give a family a hug for me. Family is very important. Make that call to mom, sister, brother, that friend, because friends can be family as well. Y'all work that out. Work that out with the children. Sometimes that issue that you having with the children ain't their fault. Mama had poured a bunch of bullshit into them, and you just gonna have to work through that. But God bless, man. Love y'all. See y'all in the next video.